Chapter 26. Hi everybody. I'm glad I'm back in the book because I've missed it as well. How I whisper. How did you get here? He unfurls himself, slowly, his body creaking. He stands up, stooping slightly, one shoulder lifting towards his ear. Maeve, he asks, equally mystified. Is it actually you? What do you mean? They made you look like other people, he says, his face full of terror. And they made other people look like you. The fear in his face puts me on edge. That was what was happening at the hotel. He really did think I was called Mary Beth. Mary Beth. Sorry if I pronounce names wrongly. I do slaughter names, sorry, I'm no good at names. In the early morning sunlight, I can see just how dishevelled Aaron has become. His clothes are faded and grey, his skin pallid, his blonde hair, usually kept short and tidy, has grown out to look fuzzy and unkempt. His face is covered with rusty stubble and crops of acne and ingrown hairs festering underneath it. Yuck. You look different, he says. His right eye, which I had noticed a brief squint in before, is trembling and weeping slightly, one eyelid puffy. Your hair, no, your face too. Something's changed. What changed? I'm not the one who looks different, I encounter. You look like crap. What's going on? What are you doing here? And what are you talking about? Aaron looks as though he's finally noticed his surroundings. He turns around, looking at the sky, the tops of the houses, scrutinizing the trees. Where am I? You are outside my house. Why? The logic of this situation seems clear. Hold on, I've lost the page now. Sorry about that. The logic of the situation seems clear. If slightly awkward, I drank the binding spell, and instead of binding Aaron from doing harm, I have bound him to me. I'm not going to tell him that, though. He's rumbling his eyes. He looks like a dirty toddler. He's still disorientated, confused by where he is. Now is not the time for a showdown, I realize. Now is the time for answers. Behind me, I can hear the slam of my dad's car door, and I know that he is about to reverse out of the driveway. He cannot see me talking to Aaron. Come on, I say, let's go. We walk in amused silence. Down to the river. We went to your house, I say at last. You left my house? What house? He asks confusedly. Oh, the apartment. That was never mine. It was theirs, is theirs, and you are not with them anymore? The sun bounces off the water and a quad of ducks glide past. You can already tell it's going to be a beautiful day. The kind of day that people talk about when they talk about autumn being their favorite season. Aaron bizarrely pulls out a battered-looking box of cigarettes and starts smoking. Smoking was not answering my question. I said, you are not with them anymore? The children? No, I'm not. Is there anywhere we can get coffee? Why aren't you with them? What happened? He doesn't answer. Come on, I barked. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the moody boy thing. You are not my boyfriend either. Tell me what I want to know or piss off. Nothing. There's coffee at the other side of the park, I grumble, and we march across the damp grass to the wooden coffee kiosk with 2 picnic tables outside. The whole time I wonder what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. I hate everything about this man, about what he does and what he stands for, and yet here we are, stirring sugar into our coffees. Why did you leave them? I asked. When? What date is it today? October the 31st. I replied, thinking, as a witch, I should probably have something planned for Halloween. A month ago. Why? Because I found out what happened after 3. He gives me a grim, tired smile. The draining. Yes. The well. Yes, I see you've figured it all out. We are a clever bunch. Well, bully for you. So what? You found out that they were using me as a magic funnel, and you thought, oh, no, too far. Torment, the gaze, but not this. A pause while we blow and sip our coffees. Why the change of heart? I press. Why did you suddenly care about what they were doing to us? To kill Beg? Because it has to be a choice. You can't force people into believing things. You can't take away their ability to reason. What would have happened if I had agreed to join them? He shrugs. They won't have given you anything you wanted, and then they would have turned you into me. Aaron looks so filled with misery at this idea of anyone being like him, and I'm convinced this is a trap again. No one can turn around their entire personality like this. I started. He hesitated. Ask questions that to them sound suspiciously like I was arguing on your behalf, like I wanted to save you. So they threw you out. No, they did stuff first. They were suspicious of me, so they took away some of my power, tricked me with a glamorous, made me believe I was talking to you. They thought I was handling the job badly, and the less they trusted me, the less I trusted them. And then you left. And then I left. So you left because they demoted you. I left because I found out the truth. And what's that? That they don't give a damn about God or salvation. It's just power they want. He looks at his hands, and they have so much of it. That's why I was surprised this morning. He continues. When you could see me, they suspected that I was too interested in you, too protective or something. That's why they wouldn't let me see you. So I sent the cards, spirited them to you. I needed something that you would understand, but they wouldn't. The cards, the 5 of Pentacles, the Chariot, that was you. I put my head in my hands, trying to make sense of this. The 5 of Pentacles, I repeated. Suffering outside the church walls. Locked out. I nodded. It's weird how I had the same interpretation, but I made it about me and Rue. And the Chariot, I continued. I knew that they would try something on the bus. They always talked about how you all got the bus. I can't believe this. I shudder at the idea of being spoken about, schemed against, our movements followed and exploited. Aaron, why were you warning me? You hate me. No, I don't. He shakes his head. You always thought that. I never did. John 12:40. What? I say. What? He counters. What is John 12:40? He has blinded their eyes and hardened their hearts, so they can neither see with their eyes nor understand with their hearts, nor turn, and I will heal them. Why are you quoting the Bible first at me? I don't know. Habit. I was never a habit before. It was long before I met you. I just learnt to cover it when I was powerful. Is this a trick? I so badly want this to be a trick. I don't want a pitiable Aaron. I don't want any kind of Aaron at all, but I especially don't want one I have to feel sorry for. What do you mean? Are you trying to trap me by making me feel sorry for you? He laughs, then, and sips at his coffee. I'm flattered. Be credited with that much genius. Finally, a glimmer of the old hymn. The hymn I can comfortably despise instead of being confused by. Please tell me, I say slowly, please tell me what's going on, and try not to quote any Bible verses. Sorry, he says weakly. It's the old evangelical coming out in me. What does that mean? I group evangelical, that's a belief, a religion. It's a mouthful. I'm sorry. Did you know that about me? I don't think I understand what evangelical means exactly. Oh, he starts stirring the wooden stick in his cup, creating a vortex of coffee. Well, it's like Protestants, but very strict Protestants, very literal evangelical, tends to read the Bible a lot and take it as a face value, but Catholics sort of like the priest interprets it for them. But the main difference is that evangelicals are called to God. You are baptized when you get the call. I got the call early. That doesn't surprise me. No, it didn't surprise anyone else either. He is talking. Now, I'm getting a dry mouth, so I'll just take a bit of water. Bear with me. He is talking quite casually now, as if we were old friends. My uncle was a pastor of this mega church out in Yuba City, and we would head out there every week, 2 hours in the car to worship. I was only 5 and I walked up to the stage, and everyone was so proud of me, and I was baptized. And for years after that, I'm like, did I actually get the call from God, or was I just, 5? It sounded like you were probably just being 5, but I don't know. I wasn't there. I look at my phone. It's just gone 9 o'clock. I was like, oh wow, my call to God was completely fake. I made it up. Everyone thinks I'm this child, Wunderkind, and I am just a liar. A wonder child is the Wunderkind, so it must be related to the German ascendants. I'll be interested to see this. He starts to laugh, as if this is extremely charming story about believing in the tooth fairy. So I started cramming hard on being a good Christian to keep up the lie, and like the whole narrative of me being this good Christly child keeps growing and growing, and now it feels like it's getting out of hand. You sound like, I keep trying to seem diplomatic, to pretend as if this isn't the same Aaron that has helped make my life miserable, like you've had a lot of time to think about this. Oh no, he takes another sip. Years of therapy. You went to therapy? I mean, I went to our version of therapy, he says. I don't know if any of them were, licensed therapists, but my parents didn't want to send me to the modern place, where they would tell me that I was a paranoid for following the scriptures. Why did they send you to therapy? Oh, hell. Hell? I saw hell all the time, everywhere. What do you mean by that? I don't know. If I can be more clear, he pauses and coughs. The land of the gloom and the utter darkness, of deepest night, of utter darkness and disorder, where even the light is like darkness. Job, chapter 10. Or Job, chapter 10. We are both silent for a moment, and when you say you saw hell, suffering, fire, people screaming, people all crooked and small, like maggots, versions of themselves. I was 14, and it was when I started realizing that I was, like you, like us, a sensitive. Yeah. How did you find out? Metal. Metal went weird. Did you get that? Did that happen to you? I would drop my fork like 5 times in every meal. And every time it would fall on the floor. It would get louder, like a church bell. My dad would get so mad. He knew all these belt buckles started veering away from me, and he knew that there was something wrong with me. I'm quiet for a moment. No, I didn't have that thing with metal. He looks disappointed. Do you see? I can't believe I'm about to ask this. The lights. What do you mean? I can look inside people, or I usually can. In their heads, I mean. I see colored lights, like a comet's tail, and I follow the lights until I'm in their brain. Looking out, he looks down suddenly, breaking his fixed concentration on my face. Aaron starts to examine his nail beds. No, he replies quietly. That sounds very beautiful. What do you see? He looks at me, and for some reason I know exactly what he is going to say. And so we say together, holes. His eyes widen in shock. How do you know? It's the first thing I thought when we met at that horrible apartment. You could see holes in people. He nods. A breeze rustles through the trees, and the sharp yelp of winter passes through me. And him. The wind whistles through Aaron, crying his smell of the air. A stale, sticky yellow smell of old sweet and damp, and clothes that have been slept in for too long. I remember the phone bill, the overdraft. Where do you live? I asked suddenly. Where do you sleep? Well, usually in a hostel, but last night I just walked and walked and walked until I fell down outside your house, which I'm still struggling to understand. I'm still uncomfortable with the truth and the prospect of telling him, sorry dude, I drank my essence. Who is Matthew Madison? I asked. He takes the name like a stab in the chest. I saw the letter. I continue. The letter with the money. Matthew Madison, he says slowly, was my housekeeper's victim. And that is the end of chapter 26. Take care. Bye-bye.